The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, Dan, there's no audio.
Oh no, I don't know what happened there. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yep, you're good now.
Okay, I must have nicked something. Alright, let me restart. Sorry about that. Alright, good morning everybody, and welcome to the special weather briefing. My name is Daniel Butler. I'm a meteorologist here at the Spokane Weather Service, and we're going to cover a brief update on the evolving heat and fire weather situation over the next several days in the inland Northwest. So looking at the key points here, the first one is we're going to be dangerously hot with our temperatures peaking on Sunday, July 21st for most locations. And as far as the heat risk goes, it will be major through Saturday. And then by Sunday, we're looking at widespread extreme heat risk. And then as we go into the work week next week, our heat risk will stay major Monday, and then a cool down will come, and our heat risk will decline down to minor or moderate by Wednesday. Also, we are looking at elevated fire weather conditions Friday and Saturday due to hot.
Hey, Dan, can I interrupt you real quick?
Yes.
I don't think you're showing your screen. I can see it, but the attendees cannot.
Oh, really? I did not even know that was a thing.
Maybe check the sharing menu if there's or see what the audience sees.
I see it on mine because it shows it on the audience view.
Okay, yeah, other people see it. Okay, never mind. Maybe it was just one person having trouble. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay, it seems like we're
You're
fine.
good. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Uh, and then covering the last point there, we're looking at elevated to critical fire weather conditions developing Sunday through Tuesday due to hot, dry, and breezy conditions with a gradual breakdown of the high pressure ridge that we have present in our area. We have seen an increase in wildfire activity across the region, which is contributing to increased haze as well, and those impacts could last across the region through at least Wednesday. The weather risk outlook table here shows increasing heat risk through the rest of the week here and peaking to extreme on Sunday. And then on Sunday, we have dry and unstable conditions, which may lead to critical fire weather conditions in central Washington, which we have issued a fire weather watch for. And then dry and breezy conditions will begin to develop with the breakdown of the ridge starting in central Washington on Monday and spreading to the rest of Washington, eastern Washington, by Tuesday and Wednesday, which will contribute to the increased fire risk. And as I said before, the heat risk will begin to decrease Tuesday, but we still remain mild. Here's a graphic showing the forecasted high and low temperatures. We are seeing a second major to extreme heat wave this summer and another chance to come within range of touching or breaking some all-time high temperature records, particularly Sunday there. The nighttime low temperatures will be in the 60s and 70s, which will provide little to no relief from the heat through this weekend and into Monday. And then temperatures will cool into the upper 80s with better overnight relief by Tuesday. Now looking at the map of the heat risk for Saturday and Sunday, as I said before, Saturday will be major heat risk pretty much region-wide, and then by Sunday, all those magentas are denoting an extreme heat risk. And so with this level of heat, everybody will be impacted by it, but especially people without proper hydration or cooling opportunities. Those folks will be especially vulnerable in the heat. And then showing Monday here, our heat risk starts to decrease. Not as much magenta, but there is still major in the northern half of Washington and North Idaho. But then by Tuesday, our heat risk will decrease to moderate or minor. And if you want to learn more about the heat risk and what goes into that, you could click on the hyperlink once we distribute these slides. So as the breakdown of this ridge starts to occur late this weekend and into Monday, with a dry cold front passage, dry and breezy winds will develop in central Washington. Conditions right now may not meet red flag criteria, but they will still be conducive for fire spreads if a new start happens. And we're expecting sustained winds around 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 35 miles per hour, very dry conditions with humidities 10 to 20% there in central Washington. And then Monday into Tuesday, we get that increasing west-southwest wind as an incoming weather system moves closer to our area. And that's when the fire risk spreads east into eastern Washington. And looking at that ridge breakdown and winds with regard to fire weather hazards, here are the probabilities or chances for seeing sustained winds greater than 15 miles per hour. As seen here, there's an increase in winds, especially noted for central Washington by Sunday. The Columbia Basin will see the biggest increase in winds overall, as you can see with those probabilities around 100% for Wenatchee area, starting Monday through Thursday. And then Monday, Tuesday are those days where the ridge is going to break down, but the chances for winds greater than 15 miles per hour stay elevated through much of next week. So some potential impacts are elevated to critical fire weather conditions, so use caution with any potential ignition sources. And this table is just dialing in wind speeds sustained that are greater than 20 miles per hour, just showing that the best chances for those are in central Washington all throughout next week. You could see the probabilities there for Omak and Wenatchee are like 50 to 90% for sustained winds greater than 20 miles per hour. Here are some heat safety graphics. You could feel free to share them with your partners once we distribute the slides, and there's more resources available at that hyperlink. And here is another heat safety graphic showing what heat exhaustion versus heat stroke looks like, both in English and Spanish. And so for a summary here, we have high confidence of major to extreme heat risk through Sunday, and high confidence that the temperatures will begin to cool by mid next week, but there's low confidence on the exact timing of that. It's noteworthy that the temperatures are cooling closer to what normal is So it's still going to be like mild, but not like cold or anything by any means. And then as far as fire weather, Friday and Saturday we'll have elevated fire weather conditions due to those hot and unstable conditions. And then as we transition to that ridge breakdown, Sunday to Wednesday, we'll have elevated to critical fire weather conditions with those dry and breezy winds. And as of right now, this will be our last live briefing for the heat. And I will open up the floor for any questions. So yeah, we could take any questions now.
Sorry. Hi, this is Simone from Emergency Management. I forget your name. What was your name again?
Daniel Butler.
Oh, hi, Daniel. So just one question about your maximum winds slides. Am I correct to understand that you mean the sustained winds? Because the gusts will be higher. So is that correct when you say max winds greater than 15 or 20, you mean the sustained winds? Is that correct? Do I understand that correctly?
Yes, these are sustained winds.
The sustained winds. That's what I thought. Just want to be sure I was clear. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Are there any other questions? I'm not hearing any other questions. If you do have any additional questions, please share them at the email shared there at ws.spokane@noaa.gov. But I will stay on here just for a little longer in case there's any questions. All right, I'm not hearing any additional questions, so I am going to conclude the call here. Thank you, everybody.